you think is gonna disappear in 10 years?
Fast food cashiers. You'll pay at the kiosk and they'll have 1 or 2 cooks who hand you the food when it's done.
I predict in 10 years all these TV streaming services will be available bundled together in one package. They will call it cable television.
Honestly, a bunch of the bigger dating apps that force you to pay to message people like eHarmony.
My hair.
Facts will never die. How.
Privacy.
The Ogallala Aquifer.
Attention spans.
Chromebooks in schools. I'm seeing schools going back to paper so kids don't cheat on reports. Probably a lot cheaper than Chromebooks.
At least half of the newspapers in the U.S. Ownership.
A winter cold enough to kill off enough ticks, chiggers, and mosquitoes.
Ownership. Everything we need is quickly being transitioned into subscription models, where you technically own nothing other than a guarantee of a small bit of product next month.
Dental drills, maybe not quite. But at the dentist today I noticed the doctor using an electric tool and asked if the drills were going electric too. He said they're already using lasers instead of drills and when he expects them to become mainstream in 10 to 15 years.
Mitch McConnell.
I feel like rollerblading rinks will be non-existent. I see them closing all over.
World War II veterans. Hopefully my acne.
Probably my grandma. She's 94 years old, probably a lot sooner than 10 years. She was a witch her whole life, so no hard feelings. Retirement. We are at a tipping point where things are becoming too expensive. Mortgage rates are hell. People are living longer and getting less value for their money. I seriously do think we will one day end up in a situation where you do some kind of work to the bitter end, unless medically incapable.
Influencers, if we're lucky.
More glaciers. Having the ability to insert or swipe a credit or debit card.
Hopefully my virginity.
World War II veterans. Kind of crazy to think that when I was a teenager there was still some World War I veterans around, and now we're not too far off from the last of the Nazi killers dying off. It's even weirder to realize that when my dad was born there was still a couple Civil War veterans kicking around. My great-grandmother came over on the Oregon Trail. I really wish there was a way to impress on kids how recent a lot of history is, especially in the USA. Everything is way more interesting when you have a frame of reference for how fast time moves.
The middle class. Edit. The middle class is gone.
Putin. A bunch of species across the planet.
Honestly stable employment. I just have this feeling that stable jobs will just get less and less common, and we will get more flex contracts in return. Sadly, I see people struggling even harder in the future.
Financial liquidity. Everything is becoming so expensive we are all going to be forced into greater and greater amounts of debt.
Malls. Loads of animals.
Redbox.